All right, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Fans Union for the fans by the fans. Another pick and roll episode. A little Stockton, or actually, let's do Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire action.
Ooh, that was like my favorite duo growing up, bro. I was a big Amari Stoudemire guy back in the day.
Dude, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how. I can't remember exactly how it is. If either his first year or last year, I'm pretty sure he didn't start playing high school or basketball until like his second or third year in high school,
That's that's incredible.
and
Fun
then
fact.
goes to
So
the
you
NBA
know,
from high school.
oh yeah, that is insane. I didn't even think about that part. So growing up, you like in the driveway shooting on the hoop, like 3, 2. You know what I'm saying? Like that little thing you do in your
There's
head as a
3 seconds
kid.
back on the clock somehow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, not even that. So fun fact. I used to grab my dad's safety goggles out of the damn garage, bro, and put them on and be Amari Stoudemire, dog. I put that on everything, dude.
You're in
Big
there,
Amari guy growing
Duncan.
up. What's that?
You're in there, Duncan.
Nah, I wasn't dunking. But I was hitting those drop steps off the backboard and whatnot. Little midi here and there.
Well, at least you looked the part. I mean, I think that's the most important thing, right?
Hey, probably like a fool looking back at it, but hey, whatever.
That's part of the
I was
game. It's
like
part of
10,
that age. Dude, my thing was I would always, I
Facts.
would always have this stupid thing where like I would like go throw around a football or something in my backyard, pretend like I was a Georgia football player, and then I would run down to the basketball court and act like I had basketball tryouts after or something, or that I was trying to make the basketball team.
Hell yeah, dude. Easy
Yeah,
times, dude.
yeah, for sure. The did you ever collect cards when you were younger, like football, baseball, basketball cards?
Yeah, but I wasn't like too heavy into it.
Oh, buddy, middle school, I had so many cards. I actually, my uncle got us when I was in, I think it was in eighth grade when I went, seventh or eighth grade, seventh grade. It was seventh grade for sure. After Matt Ryan's rookie year, we went to the Falcons minicamp, and my uncle got us like the team set. So we went and got like I met Michael Turner and got his card autograph. Real old school Jarius Norwood, met him, and I got Matt Ryan's rookie card autographed.
You still got it?
I think it's in my aunt's basement. Honestly, I have to go look.
Yeah,
So
that'd be a good one to keep up with, bro.
I'll say. Um, so, but yeah, neither here nor there. Logan, it's just Logan and I tonight, so we're gonna kind of run through our NFL games, say a little bit about each one, uh, maybe what it has to do with this week, what it could be, etc. But we started off the week with kind of a there's no kind about it, an absolute stinker. um, for to say the least, had the Raiders at the Broncos. I think we all thought the Broncos were going to win, but I didn't think they. I don't think anybody expected them to be anemic offensively, and end up tallying. How much was it? Uh, this game, the Broncos had 220 yards and led the league in total yards. Um, yeah, run that
Led the
and
league.
22 total penalties in this game.
Jeez.
22. It was bad.
Not a
Both
game you
teams.
expect from Sean Payton and Pete Carroll.
Right. And not to mention, both
No.
teams failed on more than 10 third down attempts. Broncos 5 for 15. So I guess not more, but double digit attempts. 5 for 15 for the Broncos, 4 for 15 for the Raiders. An all around bad football game, dude. I had to like I love football so much that I kept watching it, but I was like, dude, I gotta put some basketball on. I can't watch this for too much longer. So I was keeping tabs on it, but golly, dude, that was a rough one. But nonetheless, Broncos 8-2, lead the division. And it was weird. What kind of now Bo Nix played awful. He was so bad. Um, but what kind of environment do you have to bench your or excuse me, boo your starting quarterback on an 8-2 football team or a 7-2 at that point on your
Mm.
7-2 football team? How does that possibly happen?
Somehow I just feel like that's Sean Payton's fault.
You know, great ball coach. He's incredibly unlikable.
Yes, very much so. I think the telltale sign on this game, like Tyler Lockett led both teams all together, led the game in receiving yards with 44. That damn near tells you everything you need to know about how sloppy this game was.
Brock
Like
Bowers had one catch.
that's insane. Like Tyler Lockett, a man who couldn't make it on the Tennessee Titans this year, is leading this game in receiving yards. That's insane to me.
Yeah, it's an abysmal showing. I think we all
Indeed.
expected the Raiders to lose. You know, they're fighting for the best draft position possible at this point.
Yep.
But yeah, so that was a pretty sloppy game. I don't even think there's too much to dive into on that one. Do you have anything else on that?
I'll say this about the Raiders. Never in a billion years did I think they'd be this bad this year. I thought they'd at least be like a gritty team if they were bad. You know, a lot of these games aren't even gritty. They're just getting smoked. Like
I don't tell me going into this season, and I told you Gino's here. He's got X, Y, and Z targets. Got Gentry, Pete Carroll back with him. After the year he had last year, and I said, "Hey, he's going to be a bottom 5 quarterback in the league, starting quarterback in the league this year." Would you have believed me?
no.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't have either. I would have called myself an idiot. But here we are, and he's again unplayable. So I think we are experiencing a
Yeah.
little bit of a delay again. But yeah, so
We'll power through.
yeah, we'll get it figured out. But I guess if that's all that we're gonna, that's all for that one. We get to go bright and early Sunday morning at 9:30. The Falcons travel to Germany, and with I'm I would say pridefully wearing this, but I'm actually kind of shamefully wearing this. Um, so the Falcons face arguably the best team in the NFL right now, especially record wise, um, and just have every chance to win this game. And offensively, just a pitiful, 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 pitiful outing. Now, the thing about it that kind of gets you is you look at the Colts. Well, they have 519 yards. How does this happen, right? Um, only with that being said, only 24 or yeah, only 25 points in regulation with 500 yards. Defense is the pinnacle of bend don't break, forcing turnovers. Granted, you can't and you give up over 500 yards. Jonathan Taylor further cementing himself in the MVP talks with almost 250 yards on the ground, and 3 tuds. Um, I think he's. I was obviously, I love Bijan Robinson just as much as anybody, but Taylor's definitely cementing himself as the best running back in the league this year. But this team's inability offensively to get anything going so discouraging. And I'll say this for Bo Nix and Michael Penix. I'm not giving up on quarterbacks in their second year in the league. Michael Penix has started less, obviously, but something's got to give, man. Something has to give. I mean, Penix was once again he was awful. I don't think he's an awful quarterback. He played awful. 12 of 28, 177, 29.7 quarterback rating. This offense is Bijan Robinson, Drake London, or nothing. Darnell Mooney has been virtually useless this year, which I just found out. Apparently, he has a Raheem said on 92.9 The Game that apparently he broke his collarbone in training camp. So I don't know if he's rehabbing that or what's going on, but he's just been, totally just out of the game plan. Algier has been providing some sparks there, but through the air, it's Drake London or it's incomplete. That's really what it is. He had 6 of Michael Penix's 12 completions were to Drake London. This team's offense is the reason that it's not going to make the playoffs this year. Obviously, defense can't do what they did, but you keep them out of the end zone, force fourth over or turnover on downs and fourth down. You're giving your team the option to win. But as a unit, when you only put up, sorry, the number disappeared on me. When you put up less than 300 yards in the NFL, you're handicapping yourself, especially when a team puts up over 500. So, not good around the board, obviously, but this offense is officially unplayable. Or it's mind numbing how an offense with a top 3 running back and a top 10 receiver is this bad. Um, yeah, so quite a bit to go on there, but God, it was such a bad offensive outing.
Yeah, I think it like it just reminds me of going into that Bills game. I was talking about I just don't believe in the Falcons, and then they shit on the Bills, and then they've done nothing since. It's just like that's what kills me. Is like they've had a couple of games this year where they looked really good, and then they've had some games where they looked really bad. Like this game, all in all, it's like, yeah, it's a little sloppy. It doesn't look great, but you're hanging in there with one of the best teams in the NFL, which is good. You know, when you don't have your best game, your best stuff, and you're still able to hang in there with a good team, that's impressive stuff. However, you can't, they can't, they can't grind it out, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But I mean, defense, you got 7 sacks, you forced 4 fumbles, you forced an interception. I mean, I don't know what more you want out of your defense in this game. I mean, you literally got Daniel Jones sacked 7 times. You got him fumbling the ball. You got him throwing intercept. He fumbled 3 times, threw an interception. Jonathan Taylor fumbled. Like, I don't know. It's also insane that you got Jonathan Taylor running the ball 32 times for 244 and 3 tuds. I mean, dude went insane. Like,
Had a lot of big runs too.
yeah, I mean, 83-yard. That's his longest one for the day. It's crazy. And then he had the big one in OT to win it. So Tyler Warren looks phenomenal. Looks like an excellent draft pick for the Colts. It's week in and week out at this point. He's getting big catches or having a big game, like one of the two, if not both, in the same game. Looks like an excellent draft choice. Colts receiving room kind of feels like a receiving room by committee. I don't know if they have a Pittman is their clear number 1, but I don't know if he's a true number 1. You know what I mean?
Right.
It kind of feels like a receiving room by committee, but it's working for them. I mean, absolutely working for them. They got Alec Pierce who'll randomly pop off for 75 yards. You got Michael Pittman randomly popping off for 75 yards. Josh Downs will have a big game every now and then. Mo Alley Cox every now and then will have a random game where he's coming up with a big touchdown catch because he's like 6'7", or he's having a 50-yard game. Like he'll randomly make a couple of big appearances and then fall off the face of the earth for a couple weeks. It's kind of weird how they do it, but Colts, dude, week after week, we all kind of was wondering how long this will last. I mean, they're 10 games in, they're 8-2. Them boys are still rolling. I mean, shout out to the Colts. We all were wondering how long it'll last. Looks like them boys are for real. You know, they got 7 games remaining, so 8-2, sitting pretty.
Yeah, if you're as an offense, if you surrender 7 sacks, turn the ball over twice, and score and tally up over 500 yards, you're going to beat a lot of teams. You're going to be able to those typical anomalies of you turn the ball over more, you surrender the most sacks, you lose those games. They're breaking the mold. Now, granted, they're playing a horrible offense. I want you to take a guess real quick what the Falcons are their last 2 games. So they've played probably the 3 best teams in the AFC at this point. Well, actually, maybe a little generous to give Buffalo that at this point, but definitely the 2 best, the Patriots and the Colts in back-to-back weeks. You lose by less than a touchdown each point or each game. One of the Patriots game only 1 point. Where Drake
and
London,
they were down 21.
Yeah, right. Or what was it? 20? Was it 21-7? I thought it was. I thought it was
17-7. Like
was it?
Or was it like 28? I think it was 28-7. I think that's what it was. I'm pretty sure it was a 20-point deficit.
I think it was 21. They didn't even score 28.
Who?
Which game are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Patriots last week.
No, the Patriots. They scored 24 points.
I swear they were down 21 in that game. I'm about to look it up.
But either way, you're down. Before you look it up, because it may show this, I want you to take this guess real quick.
Okay.
The past 2 games combined, I want you to guess what the Falcons are on third down. Past 2 games.
What are they? 2 for 22?
1 for 18.
Jesus.
So basically, if you get these guys on third down, get the point unit ready.
But the problem is, I don't ever feel like they're third and manageable. Dude, they got to fire OC. What are they waiting on? Fire Raheem, too. I'm sick of it. Get rid of them both.
Well, I think that's definitely going to be the plan at this point. They get the writings clearly on the wall. What I don't think they want to do, and I think what keeps a lot of NFL guys from firing, especially in Miami, since they hadn't fired McDaniels. As a, do you want to hire a home run hit, or do you want the interim to go on a roll and then he become the leading candidate? You know what I mean? I think that kind of plays a part, right, wrong, or indifferent. I think that does. But yeah, so Falcons.
Okay. So I just looked it up. It was 21-7. The Patriots were driving under 2 minutes to go, and 2-minute offense. They were driving, and they had a Drake May got sacked at the 38 and fumbled.
Yeah, that's the Jalen Walker strip sack.
Yep. So, and then Falcons scored at at the very end of the half to make it a 21-14 game. So yeah, I was thinking it was 21, but they were on the cusp of going down 21, and then they battled back and made it a game. So they finally woke up. But yeah, regardless, and hey, shout out to the Patriots because they took care of business against the Bucs too. So it ain't just us getting beat by them.
Yeah, and I was just about to pull. I wanted to pull something up real quick too, to give a little positive note. These, where are we at? Where's he at? These Falcons rookie pass rushers, man, really been getting to it. Jalen Walker a sack 2 weeks in a row. James Pierce I believe he had a sack. Yeah, he had a sack on Sunday. That's where my question is. Like, obviously, I think Raheem's going. I don't think you get rid of Fontenot. I think you keep him at GM. He's really been hitting on these draft picks. It's just
so
we're totally I want to mention something.
Yeah, I want to mention something real quick because we were talking about this when we watched the game at Buffalo Wild Wings, the Patriots-Falcons game. So James Pierce, in my head, okay, I was wrong. I'm going to go ahead and admit this. I thought not Patriots, geez. I thought the Falcons traded a late first rounder, moved up a little bit in the first round, and then also traded next year's first rounder. So they traded their second rounder, moved up, and next year's first rounder. That's what the deal was. So when I was saying I thought they traded 2 first rounders for him, that's what I was saying. I thought they traded like pick 30 for like pick 25 and then next year's first, but it was really a 30-something pick, but it was actually round 2. So that's where I was confused at. So you're right. They did not trade 2 first-round picks. They only traded 1. I just had my pick 30s messed up. So just want to throw that out there because I forgot to ever mention that to you that I seen that somewhere, and I was like, oh, shit, Joey was right.
I appreciate the accountability.
Hey, bro, that's on me, dog. I got a little excited that day.
It runs out quickly. It's okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna be watching the Falcons every Sunday. May be painful, but either way, this team that has the talent to be really good does not have the coaching to be really good, and that's why we're sitting here at 3-6.
Hey, so if the Falcons win out, do they make playoffs?
I mean, I think 11-6 would definitely get you into playoffs.
You're at least in the talks.
And the way the Bucs are trending right now, which we're going to talk about here in a second.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about that as well.
Yeah, who knows? But we'll get to that. We'll don't want to mess up our feng shui in our order.
Right.
All right. So next, New York at Chicago. I think it would be obvious that the main story to talk about here is Daboll getting fired. More than anything else. So I think the writing's been on the wall for this one too, with Brian Daboll getting canned officially this week in his tenure. Let me get this pulled up. He got there in 2022 after the pitiful Joe Judge regime. Went 9-7 that year, made the playoffs, won a playoff game somehow, scrapped together a playoff. But ever since then, not been good. 6-11, 3-14, 2-8 this year. Me personally, I really think Dable's a great coach. Um, I think
Hey,
he's
bring
gonna
him
have.
to Atlanta. Bring him. I
I'll
will
br-
gladly take him.
yeah, I agree. Um, really, really brilliant offensive mind. At the same time, I don't really know how you can defend his job at this point. About to have his third losing year in a row. Now, granted, there's been issues every time, right? So there's been like you this year, or last year you lose Saquon, to due to. I really think the GM's the bigger problem. I don't know how you fire Daboll and don't fire Joe Shane. Um, but that's just me.
I think he
Um,
saved face, low key. I mean, they just got Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart, Scatabo, Malik Neighbors recently, Theo Johnson at tight end. They've got some recent success in the draft now.
Well, that I'll agree with you there, but at the same time, like Daboll is the one who's like, "Hey, we need Dart." That's Daboll right there.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is more so, I don't see how you see Daboll when he's done to be like, okay, he's got to go, but not Joe Shane. That's more what I'm getting at.
To be
But
honest, I think Dayball deserved next year. Like, let him have a fully healthy Scatabo, Malik Neighbors. Let him get a real shot. Like, he's finally getting good pieces, and they're like, never mind. That's what I
yeah,
hate. You a lot of times in sports these days, you don't let you don't see them let a coach see it all the way through. Usually, it's like we suck. We know we're rebuilding. Okay, we're finally rebuilding. Okay, we're finally getting you the pieces. Oh, we're having a little bit of hype because we're getting the right pieces. Oh, the little bit of hype is dwelling because we have a young team that's making young mistakes. What have they lost 3 or 4 games where they're up 10? Typical
yeah,
young team stuff. And then instead of letting them see it through, and you got a bunch of injuries stacking up right now, and instead of you letting Dayball see it through for a year or two, you just can't. I'm like, that's the part I hate. Is like you let him go through all the downs, and I know he had the one playoff year and all that, but you let him go through the downs and stuff. But it's like as soon as it looks like there's some hope, as soon as he doesn't, I mean, we all know they're young. It's not like they made splash free agent sign. They didn't go sign like a Derrick Henry or like Aaron Rodgers. They didn't sign vets. They signed guys who were going to have growing pains. So let Dayball stick it through at least a year or two, I feel like, and have those growing pains. But that's just how sports are, dude. It's always now, and they don't really give any. And the players are the same way. A lot of players get unfairly critiqued for how young they are. I mean, look at Bryce Young. Everybody was writing Bryce Young off. He was so young. He's making some errors. And then look at him. He gets benched. Probably the best thing that happened to him, honestly. He gets benched, bounces back. He's been a different player ever since. I mean, the Panthers are what, second best team in the division?
yeah.
I mean, I think they're what are they, a game above 500?
I would have smacked somebody in the face if they would have told me that, hey, the Panthers are going to be better than the Falcons this year. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Are they even going to be like the Falcons might be better than the Bucks? Well, of course, we're wrong about that. But yeah, I see your point. But it's kind of been ever since Coughlin left. It's kind of been a whirlwind there. Coughlin was there for from
Like
2004 to 2015.
oh,
Then
I don't
what's his
remember.
name? McAdoo gets fired. Okay, so McAdoo is a weird situation too. Um, goes 11-5 in 2016, makes the playoffs. Next year, 3-13 is fired. Now 3-13, obviously, that's a terrible record and a
Yeah.
terrible shift. But then you got another guy who stays for 2 years, and you got another guy who stays for 2 years, and Shermer and Joe Judge, and now Dable in his fourth season getting fired. Which, to be fair, I mean he had double the shelf life all the other coaches did.
Yeah.
But God, man, when you're flying through head coaches like that, man, it's bigger than the head coach. It's the front
Also,
office,
oh
the
yeah, and
ownership.
this is exactly what I was about to touch on as the front office. Let's be honest, the front office handicapped Dayball. You don't want to re-sign Saquon, and then you go and pay all that money to Daniel Jones, and then halfway through the first season of his contract, you let him go. Like, what can Dayball really do there? Like, that's
Yeah,
not Dayball's fault. That is not Dayball's fault. I mean, we
and
all saw Hard Knocks where they're in the GM, and what's their owner sitting there saying? Like, oh, we just can't have Saquon go to Philly. What does he do? Go to Philly, win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Like, congrats, dummies. Like, come on now. You got to pay the man. In a market like New York is also like, come on, dude. Saquon was the guy, and he still is the guy, but he should have been the guy in New York. But hey, at the end of the day, Saquon made the right move. We all know that.
I'm trying to find this tweet that really summarizes his career. And
while you look for that, I'll say this. On the other hand, that boy Ben Johnson ain't no joke, man.
Hey, I missed on that. I really did not believe in him. I never really believed in the trendy creative offensive play caller just coming in and being a head coach. That dude's got that team rolling, man.
Yeah, and I don't even believe in Caleb Williams, but boy, do they look good.
I can't find
it. Caleb Williams has a talent. I just don't like Caleb Williams as a person. I think that's what it comes down to. I just don't like some of his antics, I think. But I think he got the talent for sure. I mean, he was a Heisman quarterback. He was great at Oklahoma before he even transferred. So,
am I frozen on yours? You just unfroze. There we go. Can you hear me?
Hear me.
Man, we are going through the growing pains live on set. This is not favorable.
It's smoothing out.
Here, let me take this. Let me turn my Wi-Fi off. With you guys watching us, we go through a lot of technical difficulties live on set. So appreciate everybody bearing with us. But
I think we're back. Though. I think we're back.
Cool. But yeah, Chicago, man, they're playing really well. If you would have told me that they are going to be better than the Vikings, kind of would have looked at you crazy too. But sometimes, man, you just need that right mind to get in there to motivate guys and get an offense rolling. I mean, DeAndre Swift had a really good year too. He's really surprised me. But yeah, I'm impressed with Chicago.
You know, it blows my mind. DJ Moore is not even really a part of this offense.
Yeah, that's been discussed too.
That's mind-boggling. DJ Moore is a dog. Like, I'm kind of surprised they didn't trade him at this point on the deadline. Like, go get a third rounder for him or something. Y'all aren't utilizing him. He doesn't look happy with Caleb Williams as quarterback. So, I don't know. That one's a head scratcher, but I mean, they're winning without having him as a focal point. So, shout out to them. Another thing that's crazy, a man who's on his third team. I don't know if you peeped this, Joey. CJ Gardner-Johnson on his third team. This man had 2 sacks and led them in tackles with 9. So, I mean, he's good. I've always thought he had talent. Him as a person is so annoying, bro. Like, he was the sole reason a couple years ago why I didn't want the Lions to win. Like, I was rooting for the Lions. Yeah, like, I was rooting for the Lions so hard, and then CJ Gardner-Johnson was just – I'm like, dude, just shut up. Like, he just doesn't shut up. He's a pest and not a good one either. Like, I feel like if he – you know, some guys are pests where it's like if they're on your team, you love them. If they're against you, you hate them. He's a guy even on your team, you hate him. Like, it's just – I don't know. He blows my mind how annoying he is. But, I mean, he kind of showed out in this game, so shout out to him. But
yeah,
one more little stat I want to throw. Go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick, when you play college football at Florida and then go to the Saints, not too much good going on there.
That's fair. So I'm going to throw a stat out, or I'm going to give you a little quiz, Joey, a little trivia.
Okay.
Guess how many players have more rushing touchdowns than Jackson Dart this year?
I definitely won't know this. How many players do?
Yeah. This is mind-blowing.
1?
4. Only 4. Can you name those 4?
JT.
Yes, he's got the most by far. He's got 15.
Dear God.
Yeah, dear God is right. 15 is insane.
Running backs, I assume.
Yeah, they're all running backs. 1 quarterback is tied with him. 1 running back is tied with him. But as far as more than him, it's 4 running backs.
Okay. Is the one tied Jalen Hurts?
No, it's actually Josh Allen.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So JT, C-Mac.
Nope.
Wow. Okay, I'm not gonna guess them. Go ahead.
All right. Number 1 is JT with 15. Josh Jacobs with 11 at 2. Then you got Javonte Williams in Dallas with 8, and Jahmyr Gibbs with 8. And
Uh,
then the next 3 are Josh Allen, James Cook, and Jackson Dart with 7 apiece. Jackson
yeah,
Dart did not start the year as a starter, bro. Like
that's true. That's another good
Jackson
point.
Dart,
I know your
I'm
11
pretty
is.
sure. I think he's got the longest streak for consecutive rushing touchdowns by a quarterback. I think it was Josh Allen's he broke with 5 straight, and then now he's at 6 straight, but then he got hurt, so concussion. So
Yeah.
that's also rough for the Giants. Jameis Winston's going to be starting this week, so we'll see how that goes. But I thought that was a crazy stat. Another crazy stat on this list, Tyler Algier has the 5th most with, or I guess technically tied for 6th most with 6 rushing touchdowns.
That really kind of worries me too. I
mean,
you got to keep your stars happy, man. I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't know, dude. There's some names on this list that you can sit there, run through and name and be like, how in the world does Jackson Dart have more touchdowns than them rushing? But
Yeah.
hey, I love it. I love it, dude.
Well, hopefully
So
he's able to get back soon. Like we talked about Jameis Winston too, starting this weekend.
Yeah.
Which we thought was really interesting before we got on, is in why would you get to Russell Wilson? But I think unfortunately you've seen when Dart goes out and he comes in, it's like a black cloud coming over the stadium, dude. It's just absolute misery. So I think you have no choice but to give Jameis a chance.
And everybody loves Jameis too. So he's a good locker room presence. So fans love him. So maybe it's the right move.
All right. Well, let's move on into a very surprising game. I don't know what to do with Buffalo. I don't know what to do with Miami. They've absolutely just skull drug the Falcons and also skull drug the Bills. Really surprising for one of the teams who, frankly, one of the worst teams in the league, and just fine. That's the NFL for you, though. Like we've talked about that before. But I mean, the Bills definitely had some turnover problems this year. 5 for 15 on third down isn't going to win you anything. Bills are 6-3, so still definitely in the playoff picture. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them going forward, man. I don't know if this is. Have the Bills? Did they miss that window? You think? And you know what I mean by that window?
Yeah, I mean, they're 6-3. I don't want to overreact. They're 6-3. They're still a very good football team. With that being said, you don't expect the Bills to lose to the Dolphins. And in hindsight, it's kind of surprising they lost to the Falcons. Granted, the Falcons look great in that game. So Falcons have kind of fell off since then. But I mean, at the end of the day, they are still 6-3. I think the most concerning thing looking at this one is Tua didn't even have a good game. Like, Tua threw 2 touchdowns, but also had 2 interceptions, like only 173 yards. Like, if you're losing Miami, I feel like Tua's probably dicing you up.
Sounds like Tua to me. That checks out.
Yeah, so I mean, I know that we always heard like Tariq Hill saying Tua is the most accurate quarterback he's ever played with, and blah blah blah, just basically being childish. But like Tua is pretty accurate. Like Tua can sling that thing, and now you're looking at it. Pause if necessary. Now you're looking at it, though, and I'm like, he's had a terrible year. This man, he looks like he's out the door. I don't see Miami having a starting quarterback named Tua next year. I just don't see it unless they just completely miss in the draft or something. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if he's in trade talks and stuff like that. On the opposite hand of this, if we're going to – I'm saying Tua doesn't have a great game. Achane is a dog. Like,
he's
I think
having
we
a really
said
good
it
year.
last week or the week before. But Achane is so good, dude. Like, it is insane what he has done. Like, I remember – was it 2 seasons ago, him and Raheem Mostert were, like, splitting carries, and then he had that one game where he went for, like, 160. He's really never looked back since that breakout game. Like, he's really good. So, I think – honestly, I think the Dolphins, if they can figure out quarterback, because I just don't think Tua's in anymore. It doesn't seem like his head's all there. It's a lot of BS in the media talks every single game. So maybe McDaniels doesn't get fired. I don't know. I feel like he probably does, but maybe he doesn't. And then they come out with a new quarterback. And because I mean they kind of got some pieces in there, dude. Achan's good, Waddle's really good. Who knows what's going on with Tyreek Hill, but Ollie Gordon could be a solid running back too for him. He's had some splashes this season, a couple games. So I mean, I don't know. I could see a world where the Dolphins can kind of retool and at least be like a fringe playoff team kind of quick.
Yeah.
But also, I'm saying that after a big win and kind of how they did Atlanta. But it's like then the Dolphins will turn around and lay an egg. So who really knows? Maybe I'm overreacting on the Dolphins where I feel like you might be overreacting a little bit on the Bills. Because as long as you got James Cook, Josh Allen, and Sean McDermott, I think you got a shot.
I agree, but I think I don't think that I think they're going to be a perennial playoff team still. Like I think they're still going to make the playoffs. I have no doubt about that. But I'm talking about just as a championship window.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah.
Because
So
I mean, personally, I thought the Bills may have been missing their championship window when they had the Von Miller and all the big splash signing back then, and they kind of flew under the radar for the last year or two. I mean, they've still been perennial, but like there was a lot of hype around them when they made that Von Miller signing and everything.
I mean,
Like,
they're one game away from the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what I'm saying? Like 2 years ago when they made that Von Miller sign, they were like the team, they Super Bowl favorite. That's all anyone talked about. So, I mean, they kind of fell under the radar as far as being the team everybody's talking about. I mean, people still obviously talk about them, but I don't know. I'm not giving up on the Bills. Like I said, if you got Josh Allen, you got James Cook, and you got Sean McDermott, I still believe, but I do hear you and I do understand the worries. But at the end of the day, they are 6-3. They're still there.
Yeah. So they definitely are gonna. I think they're still gonna be a playoff team, but we'll see kind of how it looks going forward. When you got 3 losses, being the Saint. No, they didn't lose to the Saints. I'm sorry, I totally lied. I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole then. Next game, Baltimore at Vikings. Baltimore walks away 27-19 win. Both teams 4-5. One just got their star quarterback back, and seems to be rolling and getting things figured out as their team gets healthy. Other one, the Vikings. But as good as your division is, you got to figure something out quick. You have a game where you outgain the Ravens by 40 yards basically, but you turn the ball over 3 more times. You have less first downs. You have almost triple the penalties. You go 3 for 14 on on third down, 2 for 5 on fourth down. You're not winning that game, especially with I wouldn't say ineptitude because JJ McCarthy I think has been good for what it's worth. But when your quarterback is really figuring things out on the fly and the defense is struggling a little bit, it all gets amplified, right? It kind of gets thrown on Main Street a little bit more. But the Vikings are on contention of really losing out on a playoff spot, and I never thought that was going to happen, but here we are.
I think my biggest concern with the Vikings is why do you have JJ McCarthy 2 weeks being healthy after this is second week healthy, and you got him throwing the ball 42 times? This is his 4th game ever, something like that. Like, I don't like the whole him throwing the ball 42 times thing. You got Jordan Mason, you got Aaron Jones, use them. They have 13 carries between the two of them. I feel like you can have a more balanced attack, which is rare because, dude, I love Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell is a great coach. I think he's a quarterback whisperer. I think he can have a broomstick play quarterback, and that man would be a top 10 quarterback in the league. Like, I think very highly of him on the offensive end. So this one's a kind of a head scratcher for me. But, yeah, I'm with you. Vikings have been shocking, dude. And I know quarterback situations played a part of it. You had Carson Wentz. I don't believe in that man at all. So don't really have a good guy there trying to fill in the thing. I mean, I guess he did all right. But sitting at 4-5, you kind of need to rattle off 4 or 5 straight here to really get yourself in good position for playoffs, so we'll see how they bounce back. Another week with JJ McCarthy. So that all that can do is kind of help you, I feel like. But yeah, I think the biggest one that sticks out to me is throwing the ball 42 times with him and only rushing 18 and really 13 because your running backs only ran 13 times. So that one's kind of crazy. Justin Jefferson doesn't really get going here. Jordan Addison doesn't get going. Jalen Naylor has a great game, but we all know Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, that's going to be the 2 guys your offense should be running through there. And probably TJ Hawkinson here and there, but he doesn't
he hasn't been as big of a get for them as I kind of expected as a whole career as a Viking at least.
Yeah, I agree. Real quick because we need to roll through this. Yes or no? This happens. Baltimore wins the AFC North and makes the playoffs.
Are you asking if I could see it happening, or yes, it happens?
Is it going to happen? Yes or no?
I'll say yes, but for it to happen, Derrick Henry has to learn how to find the end zone again.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, Steelers don't look great right now, and the Ravens look like they're starting to roll.
Yeah. So, we'll see there, but I really think Baltimore's about to get on a run. Shout out to Graham. A bit of a stinker of a game, but the Jets figure it out. Get their second win in a row.
Third.
Oh, technically, yeah.
Hey, trade deadline might not show up on the record, but hey, we're gonna consider that third. They had a bye week and a great trade deadline, so I'm gonna count that as a win for my boy Graham.
I really want him to get something figured out. God, Justin Fields without that big touchdown to Brees Hall would have had like 40 or 12 yards or something like that. He has 54 yards in a win. God, that is some. Say what? Hey, big boy Will McDonald, 4 sacks. Especially after losing Quinnen, that's huge. The Jets. This is the the encapsulation of Cleveland. You outgain your team by 100 yards. You win the turnover battle, and you lose the game.
2
that's
special
Cleveland
team touchdowns.
Yeah, that's true. So, and that's when you have poor games like that, and you get 2 kickoff return or a punt return and a kickoff return touchdown. That's going to win you game. I mean, that's going to help you win games, right? And then the late touchdown by Brees is kind of the icing on the cake, if you will. But yeah, it's kind of what we expected in Cleveland, I think. But I don't think the Jets are obviously. I don't want to say obviously, but I think they're still going to have a poor year and really figure some things out. But it seems like the locker room is really getting behind Glenn, and he really could be that guy to take that leap next year. Who knows? But yeah, awful if you're a Cleveland Brown fan. However, absolutely terrible.
If you're the Cleveland Browns and you do not clean house this offseason, what are you doing? You just lost a game where the Jets didn't have a single player have more than 1 catch. No one on their team had multiple catches. Garrett Wilson has 0 catches, and you lose. And like you just said, you outgain him by over 100 yards. Like what? Like Jerry Jeudy has a good game. Quinshon Judkins has a good game. Gabriel doesn't have a terrible game. How do you lose this game? Like I don't really get it. I mean, the Jets, you throw for 54 yards and don't have a single player on their team with multiple catches. I mean, the Browns got to clean house, dude. And Stefanski's probably going to have a job next year, and that's fine. He's not a terrible coach, but the Browns got to switch it up. I mean, what's crazy though? The Browns are 2-2 at home and 0-5 away.
That definitely checks out.
You're not bad at home. You're really not. But
Sounds like a young football team.
So yeah, I don't know. The Jets did not look good, but they got to win. So got to get it how you can, I guess.
All right. Rolling on to the next one. One you wanted to mention earlier. The Patriots headed to Tampa Bay, take on Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. The Bucks, after starting out hot, took 2 losses in the last few weeks. Kind of like they're slowing down a little bit. Baker didn't really play a bad game, honestly. 3 tuds, leading passer in the game too. Oh man, this New England teams, they've really got to figure it out. They're 8-2. It's funny because I'm pretty sure their over under and wins on the season was 9.5. And here we are heading into week 11, and they are 8-2. So they're Mike Vrabel. I don't know if it's the insertion of Mike Vrabel, if it's Drake May finally finding his footing, Stephon Diggs coming in the locker room, but this team has really got it figured out. And they played a great Tampa team who, again, kind of slowing down. I think Baker Mayfield was kind of the runaway MVP for a while. Maybe not runaway is not the right word, but was kind of the MVP favorite for a while. It's looking like Drake May has really inserted himself in that conversation, at least to be one of the main three guys. I'm going to look at the odds here in a second. But yeah, this New England team, man, they do everything good. New England, 5-0 on the road. 5-0 on the road.
That's crazy. I didn't even catch that till you just said it.
Yeah, so they're really no matter where they're at, man, you put a ball in the field, they can find a way to win. So I really like this team. Of course, when Tampa's losing steam, the Falcons just keep getting worse. Tampa's still going to run away with the division. And I think they're still a great team. Still got a lot of healthy to get back. But yeah, I'm really impressed with the Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots are phenomenal. Mike Vrabel, I think, is a big reason of this. I think Drake May growing every single week, becoming a better player every single week, huge part of this. I mean, you got Trayvon Henderson in this one going crazy for 147. You got Mac Hollins with a big game. Stephon Diggs doesn't do too much here, but Mac Hollins has a great game. Drake May, I saw a couple highlights of Drake May just putting the ball in the bucket on Mac Hollins, dude. There's a couple throws I saw where I'm talking, it's just right there. And he's got a defender on his back, but it's right there. I mean, it is right there. So Drake May looks phenomenal. Patriots look phenomenal. Mike Vrabel, Coach of the Year. I'm going to go ahead and say that's a good shot that happens. Don't be surprised when he gets that award. Buccaneers, they're definitely kind of seem like they cooled off. There's no doubt about that. They've slowed it down a little bit. But I just think these injuries are starting to catch up to them. You got Bucky Irvin hurt. Rashad White is not stepping up in that role like you really want him to. They need Bucky Irvin hurt. The scary thing is Bucky Irvin, it seems like it's Monday or Tuesday, and they're already like, yeah, he's out. You know, they're not even like listing him as questionable. Like they're ruling him out pretty early in the week, the last few weeks, which is pretty concerning if you ask me. Surprised he didn't get put on IR at this point, but maybe it's something they didn't expect to kind of linger this long. I'm not really too sure. But missing Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Bucky Irvin, those are three huge pieces on your offense. So, I mean, I think once they get healthy, they still could be dangerous. Maybe they hit a lull here into the season. They get healthy, get hot going into the playoffs. Who knows? I could see that happening. So, definitely not ruling out the Bucs. Like you said, I think they're going to run away with the division, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and TreVeyon Henderson for the Pats really found his way this week. 2 touchdowns, 2 big touchdowns. You see where he looked at the sideline at the end of the game where he's like, "Do you want me to score?" Like he looks at the sideline, has enough separation between him and the defense to look at his coaches. They tell him to score, and then he runs in.
I didn't even see that, but that's hilarious. I love that.
Yeah. So, it looks like the Pats. I mean, Graham said it, and it sounded maybe not crazy per se, but kind of unlikely. Like, dude, they're not going to win. The Pats don't have a chance to win the East.
Hey, it seemed like a bit of a hot take. We'll be honest, but hey,
yeah,
boy knows ball.
Right. But here we are.
God knows ball.
That's right. I think we're gonna go ahead and use our stinker card on the Saints beating the Panthers 17-10 or 17-7 with Tyler Shuck almost going for 300 yards. Shout out to him. But I think can we use our stinker card on that one?
Yeah, only thing I'll say about this, congrats Saints and congrats to the Jets. Y'all might have both of you pretty much played yourself out of the number 1 spot, possibly. Congrats, I guess.
Well, who knows at this point?
I mean, it's still up for grabs, but if one of these teams loses this week, the other one is, winning, so you're taking over the number 1 spot. But hey, yeah, stinker card for this one for sure. I'm with it.
Next game, how about a valiant effort from King Davis Mills? The CJ Stroudless Texans beat who I thought were going to be the AFC South champions. Not looking good at all. Jaguars. Houston leaves with a 36-29 win. Davis Mills 292 yards, and let me see how many touchdowns he had. This thing was freezing up. 2 touchdowns, and you win a game without CJ Stroud if you're Houston. It's about as big of a win as you can ask. One unfortunate thing from this game, though, Travis Hunter hurt his knee, out for the year. I think it immediately begs the question, or makes you realize that it simply is not sustainable for him to play both ways. I don't. Maybe that's low hanging fruit because he got hurt while doing it, but I don't see that being feasible.
Yeah, time will tell, I guess. I think Travis Hunter is good. I just always thought he's a little overhyped, but I won't beat a man while he's down. Time will tell. That's all I can really say on that one. But I mean, are the Texans going to try to get back in a playoff picture here?
No, I think they're too. It's too far gone now.
I mean, 4-5, dude.
I think a lot's got to really go right, but I'm going to count them out. I mean, here,
I'm taking a look at their schedule, and that's when, after looking at the schedule, I'm going to count them out as well because they got the Titans. They should win that game this week. Then you got Colts, Chiefs. Oh, I'm sorry. You got Titans. Then you got Bills, Colts, Chiefs. So that's 3 very tough games. And then they also got the Chargers a little later on and the Colts again. So, yeah, I mean, it seems like they're playing better ball. I forgot they did just lose that stinker to the Broncos, though. It definitely seems like they're playing better after a 0-3 start. I mean, you start 0-3, you're, 4-2 since? So, I mean, they're definitely playing better as of late, but might be too little too late. You're right, especially with some tough matchups left. So,
yeah, right now they're the first team out of the bubble. So, I mean, definitely mathematically possible. I don't think realistically possible, unfortunately. But
before we get off this game, I will say, shout out Nico Collins. Huge game right here.
Yeah, especially with Stroud being out, it's huge that they're able to rely on him, especially give Davis Mills some confidence, and both have big games and leave with a, for what it's worth, an upset win.
Mm-hmm.
All right, another kind of a stinker. Not because Seattle isn't one of the best teams in the league, because they are. But Sam Darnold goes 10 for 12 and they win by 20. They win by freaking 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns, excuse me.
And they doubled the score of Arizona.
Yeah, 44-22 Seattle wins. They scored, if I remember correctly, I was watching a little bit of it. I mean, you look, 43-yard touchdown, 34-yard fumble recovery, 22-yard touchdown. I mean, it was just big play after big play. And it got ugly quick. And they kind of called the dogs off in Seattle. But I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, it got ugly quick. I'll tell you what, man.
Lawrence had two fumble recovery touchdowns in the first half. Marcus Lawrence had a hell of a game. They said he had 2 touchdowns his whole career, and then he had 2 in one half. He doubled it.
Hey, whatever you got to do to get there, I guess.
Hey,
one thing I want to point out real quick is you're good. I think another man once again hopping in that MVP discussion is one Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's been phenomenal this year. They've been rolling in what I think they are now. Are they 7-2 now? Yeah, 7-2 after this game. I mean, making all the right moves. Like we were just talking about adding Shaheed Thaheed. I think I pronounced that wrong. Thaheed Shaheed.
Nailed it.
Thaheed Shaheed.
I think it's something Shaheed. I don't know. I will butcher it too, bro. It's a tongue twister for me as well.
But yeah, I think this team is for real. I really like this team a lot. Great coach, great front office, and Sam Darnold proven that last year it may have been if you in Minnesota that may have been my doing if you're Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super impressed with him.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Sam Darnold, you're absolutely killing it. You're taking the league by storm, but also doing it under the radar. No one's really giving Seattle the credit they deserve, I feel like. So they're kind of quietly one of the better teams in football, probably a top 5 team in football this year. And like you're saying, Sam Darnold has to have his chest bowed out so big right now and just looking like, hey, the Vikings ain't doing so hot, but look what we doing over here. So he's got to be feeling pretty good about himself in that one. One thing I want to mention, Brissett has been pretty solid for the Cardinals. There's a lot of hoopla whether they move forward with him at quarterback or when Kyler's fully healthy with all the money they paid him. Do you go to him, back to him? That'll be interesting to see. I think it'll cause a lot of drama if Jacoby continues to start. But is Trey McBride, where's he ranking tight ends? Because he's got to be up there. He's good.
He's fantastic. He's really good.
And he's very under the radar. I love these under the radar kind of guys, you know? Like, I keep saying that tonight, and I think it's just because I keep seeing these guys. I'm like, this guy don't get enough credit, or this team don't get enough credit. You know,
tight ends. That's the kind of slept on position. Like I feel like that's the easiest way for it to pop out. It's like, oh, another random white guy. Look, he's playing tight end.
Because I mean, honestly, dude, he's up there with Brock Bowers, dude. I mean, obviously when you think tight ends, you're thinking Mark Andrews, you're thinking Travis Kelce, you're thinking George Kittle, but like Trey McBride's having a better season than all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, other than Bowers. Bowers is, I don't know what he's really doing, to be honest. The Raiders have sucked.
Well, he's been hurt a lot. So, I mean, he's been hurt a lot. Had one catch last week, so he's kind of taking it back. But
yeah, just shout out Trey McBride.
I was listening to, I think it was, what's her name? Rossini. She's on Ryan Russillo's podcast, and she was talking about it's looking very evident that they may be moving off. Arizona may be moving off of Kyler Murray and looking at Jacoby Brissett, and I don't think there's any reason not to. Money aside, I think performance is clearly indicated that he should be, but we'll see how that goes. So, next game, and one of the 4:00 slate, the Rams run away 42-26 against the Niners. Mac Jones again, not really a bad game from him. Just played a really hot Rams team with the MVP. I believe I got it pulled up right here. Actually, second right now, or actually him and Drake May and Matt Stafford right now are tied for in odds plus 300 on FanDuel to be MVP. Jonathan Taylor in third. I really love that Matt Stafford is somehow in his he got drafted in 08, I want to say. He got drafted in 08, 09. So nearing 20 years in his career and is somehow playing the best he's ever played. And he's got this team. I think as balanced as they are, dude, I really think this Rams team can win the Super Bowl. You've got two stout receivers. You've got an elite quarterback. You've got a great defense. You've got one of the best coaches in the league, and you're figuring it out. You're clicking on all cylinders. I really want Matt Stafford winning MVP would mean so much to me, especially me being a Georgia fan, being one of my favorite players as a child, and seeing him just be in captivity in Detroit for when they were horrible. And now he's been given a new life and has been thriving ever since. Really a lot of injury questions coming into the year too with him. But here he is, one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now.
Yeah, so I was trying to find it real quick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. So I found a different stat trying to find the one I'm looking for. Only quarterback in NFL history with 4+ passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions in 3 straight regular season games, Matthew Stafford.
That's my boy.
But the other stat I seen, it was his numbers of amount of games he's had in his career with 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. And this season alone, he's like doubled that number with 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Like he's had, I think, 5 games of 3 touchdowns, 0 picks this year, or 4 games. It was something ridiculous, dude. Matthew Stafford's having a hell of a season. And you're talking about their receiver duo. I think what's so good about their receiver duo is they complement each other so well. Because you get Devontae Adams in the red zone, dude, you're picking on people. His route running is impeccable.
He's unguardable down. I mean, he's really unguardable in general, but
yes, but
you give him a guy playing as hot as Stafford is. I mean, he went from Jimmy G giving him hospital balls to an aged Aaron Rodgers who started to figure it out, but clearly wasn't himself. And now he's got Matt Stafford, who is on top of his game, and it's like watching somebody finally get a really good point guard on their team.
Yeah.
And you realize, oh my God, life is so much easier. It's like if you put I'm just gonna make something up here. If you put Klay Thompson and like Jason Kidd on the same team, right? Like these home run guys whose life is so much easier. Real quick side note, I want to let it be known. I read something today in the Athletic. Klay Thompson l- took a $30 million pay cut to go to Dallas because he wanted to play with Luca. Yeah,
Yeah.
funny stuff.
Hey, but hey, he's winning at life right now. The shorty he's got on his hip, I
You know
mean,
what? That's
shout out.
probably doesn't make your job any easier, but
Yeah.
either
But
way.
on the other hand of Devontae Adams, you got Puka Nacua who can just spread the field, dude. Like
Oh
they
yeah, let's.
complement each other so well. Dude, it's nice. And like you said, you got Matthew Stafford probably playing the best season of his life. And I think the most impressive thing about that, the year after the Super Bowl, you remember he was having concussion problems again and stuff. And a lot of people were like, dude, just hang it up. Like you won the Super Bowl. Like maybe it's time to just hang it up before it's too late, all this stuff. Then you fast forward to these last 2 years, he's played phenomenal. Like this year, especially, but last year he had a good year as well. I mean, Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay together maybe should be illegal, to be
No,
honest. Like
seriously.
it's fun to watch. It's some fun football. And on the other side of this game, I think I said it last week. It just seems like these injuries, kind of like Tampa Bay. The Niners are 6-4. They're definitely punching above their weight when you consider all these injuries. But I mean, they're still scratching and clawing and doing everything they can to kind of remain relevant, and I commend them for that. But these injuries, I think, are just really plaguing them at this point.
Yeah. So, I'm really interested to see what the Mac Jones and Brock Purdy situation is going to end up being.
And in
But
all, on these 4 o'clock slate games, I think it's interesting that because I think it was just these 3 games on the 4 o'clock slate, and all 3 of them were 40-something to 20-something. So all of them were
yeah,
pretty.
and Detroit, Seattle games are each the exact same score, 44-22.
Oh yeah,
Which
that's right.
getting into that game, I mean, God, I'm looking at these numbers right here. Jared Goff, I feel like 300 is a new 400 in the NFL now. If you throw for 300, you're having a pretty monster game.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs almost 150 yards. JMO going for 119. On the side, obviously, I think this Washington team is really thrown in the towel. Defense is not playing well. Injuries everywhere. Their star quarterback injured, right? But man, this Detroit team is hitting another gear right now. I really want this. If the Falcons don't make it, I really like to see the Rams win a Super Bowl or at least go to it. But this Detroit team's gearing up. I'm like, hey, we're still here, right? Especially after a lot of the questions they had at the beginning of the year. But I really like this team, man. I mean, I never disliked them per se, but yeah, they're figuring it out.
Dude, I've been on the Lions bandwagon ever since Dan Campbell was on Hard Knocks. I fell in love with that team in that moment, dude. And they're just so fun to watch. I think this game was probably circled on their calendar, and it sucks because, the Commanders are their star quarterback. But I think this one's kind of circled. Like, this is the team that kept us from having a shot to play for a Super Bowl possibly, So I think this was probably circled on their schedule. Like, this is a statement game for us. Like, we want a little bit of that revenge back, get that taste out of our mouth kind of thing. And yeah, Detroit came out. They came out throwing haymakers, dude. So Detroit looks phenomenal.
Yes, I agree. Definitely going to be one of those teams we talk about in the season who could win the whole thing. Sunday night game, Chargers roll over the Steelers, 25-10. Chargers improve to 7-3. Steelers 5-4. Pretty disappointing when you consider didn't they start out 4-1?
The Steelers?
Yeah.
I think so. That sounds right.
Am I going the wrong way? Oopsie. Sorry, I'm looking at the
4-2.
Dang, why is this thing not?
Let's see. Mine's loading as well.
Yeah, so they start out they start out 1, 2, 3, 4.
4-1.
Yeah, 4-1. And then the Bengals game, the Joe Flacco game, gets them off their track. That's what it was.
But I mean, then they beat the Colts.
Yeah, dominated the Colts at that.
Yeah, I mean, they won by a ton. I mean, I think it was a late score that made it look closer. But yeah, I mean, look for them to get back on track against the Bengals this week. I think they got to beat the Bengals. Like, if they lose to the Bengals, they're really falling off the rail. You can't go down to 500 and especially lose twice to the Bengals. So Steelers got to bounce back.
Is this? Let's pretend um that Pittsburgh. We talked about this beginning of the season a little bit too. Let's pretend Pittsburgh doesn't make the playoffs. Tomlin's gone, right? You've got to do something different there.
I mean, yeah, honestly, that's another coach. Hey, Falcons, go get him or Dayball. I don't care.
I think he's going to have a New York uniform on it or New York gear on next year.
You know who I would love to see coaching in New York? We didn't really talk about people we would love to see there. Gruden. I would love that.
Yeah, I don't think
Gruden
a guy
in New York
suing
would
the
feed
league.
families, dude.
I don't think a guy who's suing the league is going to have a job in the league.
It seems like it's getting more loud, though, that he might get back in the league.
Who knows?
And that could be something in the settlement, like, oh, you're working for us now, so you get less money, whatever. You know, they could try to, I don't know. You know, politics. You know how they do it.
I do want to give a shout out to Mr. Harbaugh, really finding a way to get his team motivated no matter who is in the backfield. He's got running back 1 and 2 go down. Najee Harris for the year and Omar Hampton, at least. If not, I think he may be back next game. But who knows what it actually ends up being there. Vidal ends up having 95 yards. Herbert in control of the game, most of it. So I really like this Chargers team too. Jay Herbo is just an easy guy to get behind. I don't know what it is about him. Very likable guy, and he's dating a smoke show now. So maybe he's he's got his head inflated a little bit. But hey, who knows?
Yeah. Looking at the Steelers, though, I will say this: they got to get it together because they have a tough schedule coming up. They got the Bengals, who they should take care of business, but Joe Flacco does have some weapons out there, so you can't count out the Bengals. But, dude, then they got to go play the Bears. Then they play the Bills at home. Then they play at the Ravens, who seem to be turning a corner. You play the Dolphins, who you never really know what you're getting. It's primetime ESPN game. Dolphins right now, it doesn't seem like you know what you're getting. Then you play at the Lions, at the Browns, which that's the easiest game of their schedule. And then you finish with the Ravens. Steelers got a tough schedule ahead. Yeah. I mean, the only real give me is the Browns, maybe Dolphins, but the Dolphins kind of been hit or miss the last few weeks, so who really knows what you get out of them at that point in the season?
They beat teams they shouldn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Straight up. But yeah, I'm really interested to see. We said it earlier. I know I posed the question and what necessarily your thought. I think Baltimore runs away with this division. When I say run away, I don't mean win by a lot, but I think they end up taking the division. So we'll see. And then we get on to what may have been the stinker of all stinkers this past week with a Monday night's game. The Eagles win 10-7 against Green Bay in Lambeau. Me personally, let me tell you, I was so excited about this game. This is the kind of environment football is. Monday night football is for me. It's a super cold night in Georgia, sub 30. And it's a night game. I was a man. I grilled wings that night. Hey, let me tell you, I grilled some fantastic wings. I did that. But it's cold weather football, man. Eagles at Lambeau on Monday night. That is cold weather football. And we were treated to another stinker, really. But the Eagles improved to 7-2. Of course, we say, hey, this team isn't going to go on another super long winning streak again, right? Here they are. Somehow figuring it out. My biggest takeaway from this game is: are we off? Not you and I, but as a society, are we done with the Jordan Love train? Is the Jordan Love experiment over? He's been bad. Aside from that game he had, was it
against the Steelers?
Against the Steelers, where he had 360 yards. Been really, really underwhelming.
I was just about to say that when you were talking about that. I was going to say last time you said that, the very next game, he absolutely thracks the Steelers. So look out for a Jordan Love game this week, folks. Bet the over. Joey talks shit. He's listening.
Yeah, that's what it takes. Hey, man, do it. But goodness, and I know Matt LaFleur caught a lot of flack. I don't know how
for a few weeks now.
I don't know how fair that is. I think it's an execution issue with him more than it is, or like with Jordan Love versus coaching issue. Matt LaFleur is a fantastic coach. Let me tell you, if he didn't have a job tomorrow, I'd start a GoFundMe right now to bring him to Atlanta. I promise you that.
Hey, on bright side for Atlanta, it looks like there's going to be some good coaches available.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's a bright side for Atlanta because it's time to get rid of Raheem. Yeah, I agree. This was a stinker. Every primetime game this week sucked. I mean, you got a 10-7 Denver over the Raiders. 25-10 game Chargers over Steelers was not very good. And then you got this Green Bay Philly game 10-7. This should have been a way better game than it was, I think. But look, everyone knows I'm an Ole Miss fan. I root for any Ole Miss player in the NFL. A.J. Brown's got to get out of his feelings, bro. You got too much damn talent to be sitting over there pouting like he is. Like, you got to get it together, dude. Telling people, oh, if you got me on fantasy, you better get rid of me. Come on, bro. Y'all just won a fucking Super Bowl. Get it together. Be a man.
But
learn how to share the rock.
You got to remember, after the Super Bowl, he made an Instagram post talking about how being a Super Bowl champion is not all it's cracked out to be. Like, yeah, he said that after. He said that, like, not even a month after.
Yeah. A.J. Brown might be the most talented wide receiver I've seen at Ole Miss, and the game he has translates to the NFL. But what do you expect? When you go to the Eagles and you got Saquon and Devontae Smith and you got Jalen Hurts, like Dallas Goedert, who's a solid tight end, like, you're not going to have 100 yards every game. And I think maybe part of the problem was it last year where he had like 7 straight games of like 110 plus yards, or was that?
Oh yeah, he was balling.
Like, he went berserk. It was either last year or the year before. He was going crazy. So maybe that's what he just is like. He knows it's possible. But at the end of the day, dude, you're on a team who has a chance to win a Super Bowl for the next 3 years, guaranteed, like with this core. So
right.
I don't know. It really pains me to say it, but get out your feelings, AJ. Like, I guess you got your money. You got your Super Bowl. So what, do you just want to go ball out? If that's the case, tell them to trade you to, I don't know, some team who isn't really trying to win, but they can get you some stats. Go to the Cardinals. Let Jacoby Brissett throw you 150 yards every game. I don't know. Like, you know,
pick your poison.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, are we here to create a legacy, win Super Bowls, or you just want your numbers? I mean, I don't know. It just bugs me. And I love A.J. Brown, and I hate to harp on the man, but come on, bro. Like, quit being media drama, dude. Like, people hated on Julio when he did it. Every 2-3 years, Julio wanted to be the highest paid wide receiver and was holding out against the Falcons. He did it like 3 times in like 6 years or something like that. People hated on Julio for that. Kind of the same thing with AJ right now. It's like, dude, get out. Like, just quit causing more drama. Philly fans will cause enough for y'all. Y'all don't need to be making headline quotes like this. I don't know. It just bugs me, man. Like, and I love AJ Brown. He's such a good talent, and obviously he's an Ole Miss alum, so love him even more for that. But I don't know. It's just bugging me that we're 10 weeks, 11. What is this, 11 weeks, 10 weeks into the season, and we're still talking about, this is week 10 going to week 11, and we're still talking about A.J. Brown being unhappy. So, like,
I'll tell you one thing that, I agree with everything you said. I'll tell you one thing that really bothered me was at the end of the game, I'm not sure if you had the displeasure of still watching it, but our good brother, what's his name? Nick Sirianni, at the end of the game, you can punt the ball. I can't remember exactly what yardage it was on. I think it was in the red zone. So you can kick a field goal, make this a 13-7 game. Goes for it on 4th down. And 2 plays later, the Packers, with no timeouts, luckily, but are almost in field goal range. They go for it. They kick a 62-yard field goal, and it ends up not going in. But there was a timeout called by the Eagles, and then it just ends up not materializing. But very boneheaded decision. I watched it immediately and was like, what does he think he's doing? And I think every sports talking head I listened to said the same thing. Absolute bonehead move there. But they get away with the win, a very ugly one. But this Eagles team, probably the best in the league, really finding their stride too. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the NFC stacks up this year. So anything you want to add on that game before we head into picking our games?
Nothing to add on to the game, but more Eagles questionable thoughts going through my head. They say winning cures all. This year for the Eagles, I don't know if winning's curing their problems though. It's kind of weird, because
It
usually
doesn't feel
winning
like it.
does cure all. But this year, I mean, they're winning, but I don't know if it's really curing their problems. It's kind of weird. It's a strange situation over there. They got so much talent. Like I talked about it the first episode of this podcast. Usually, I hate Philly teams, but there's so many likable guys on that team. It's hard not to enjoy. If not root for them, it's hard not to at least enjoy those guys have success.
2 Paulding County boys.
Hey, now, yeah, Smile and Michael Carter.
That's right.
Hey, but defense doesn't seem to be the problem. It seems to be everything offense. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, absolutely. And that's typical offense versus defense problems as personnel is concerned. Okay, well, let's go ahead and pick some of these games for next week. Really got some good games on the slate for this weekend. So if you have access to a couch, I'd suggest you finding your way there. I'll tell you one
Joey,
stinker.
should we find our way in a Mercedes-Benz Sunday?
I was thinking about it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm seeing $41. I'm like, that ain't bad.
Yeah, I was like, they didn't see that. I didn't see any of that cheap when I looked on StubHub. I'm looking at my phone right now, so they gave me that access. But
I'm literally seeing that, and I'm like, usually I play golf Sunday mornings. That's like $50-$60. I could go see a Falcons game instead.
That's perspective.
Hey, amen.
But let's go ahead and pick through these games real quick. We'll get out of here. Appreciate everybody tuning in with us at this point. Okay, Jets at New England. Who knows what the Jets team can do? These teams that are wild, 2-7, and we're in the NFL, right? But I don't think it's happening this week. New England is really getting hot, and the Jets, while they're on their 2-game win streak, I think unfortunately it ends this week. Sorry, Graham. So give me the Pats.
Yeah, Gillette primetime, no shot the Jets win this game. I don't see it at all. And then on top of that, you got to throw for more than 50 yards to beat a Mike Vrabel team. So yeah, Patriots all the way.
Really, you got to do that to beat any team but the Browns.
Fair.
Okay. Next game. Let's do we'll do Carolina at Atlanta. I think Atlanta finally figures it out this week.
You don't want to talk about the 9:30 game?
You would be correct.
Okay, here's what I got to say about the 9:30 game. Sleep in, guys. It's Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Sleep in. Get some extra shut-eye. You ain't got to wake up and watch
head to church. Whatever you do, don't blend around this football game.
Yeah. I mean, you got a Mariota versus Tua Tagovailoa. You're not going to miss much. Just go ahead and sleep in. Just watch the 2 highlights afterwards.
Next game, 1 o'clock. Really, this seems has the making of a really good game. Tampa at Buffalo. Buffalo to me, like we were talking about how I felt about Gillette being one of those places I love watching games at.
Wait, are we skipping the Falcons?
Say what?
Are we skipping the Falcons?
Oh, I thought I picked the Falcons. I meant to say I picked the Falcons.
You mentioned them, I said you don't want to talk about the 9:30 game?
My bad. You're right. I just said my brain just didn't work there. Yeah, Falcons are a 3.5-point favorite. Rise up, baby. We're getting it done this week and getting back in the W column. Starting that playoff push. I am delusional and need severe help. I do think the Falcons get a win this week, though.
I do as well, but I would not be surprised if Carolina wins. I think this should be a pretty good game, to be honest.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I agree. Another good game, also at 1 o'clock. Tampa at Buffalo. Like I was saying, love watching games at Orchard Park. But Bills are 5.5-point favorite. The Bills, I think because the Tampa has the luxury of playing in such a worse division, this game doesn't mean as much, but you'd still kind of like them to get it figured out this week and get back on track. I think Buffalo has a lot to bounce back from after getting drugged by Miami last week. Give me the Bills.
I honestly think in the 1 o'clock slate, this has the makings of the best game. Both of these teams should be looking for wins here. Both of these teams, kind of like we both kind of talked about throughout the episode, kind of are on the not the downfall, but they're cooling off. I guess you could say they're kind of coming back to earth. So I think both these teams should be looking to try to bounce back and get a pretty big win here. With it being in Buffalo, I I think Tampa's injury still, they're missing a lot on offense. So I think I'm going to go Buffalo as well.
All right. Chicago at Minnesota, 1 o'clock. Minnesota 3.5-point favorite. I like BJ and the boys to keep rolling and beat Minnesota. Just that inconsistency at quarterback, I think, is going to cost them this week against a really good Chicago defense. And the Bears start making the push to say, hey, are we a playoff team? And Minnesota, I think, takes a step back further from that.
I'm going to be honest. You're throwing me off because you're skipping around. And usually when it's us two, we pick every game. So I don't know what we're really doing at this point.
Oh, no. I don't pick every game. When is this? We don't pick every game. We just talk about every game.
Okay, maybe I'm okay. Yeah, my bad. I'm just off. I guess I'm off, not you.
It's all right.
So, I think Chicago rolls on this one. Not rolls in a sense of like smokes them, but I think they keep rolling and get a win.
Right. Yeah. So I feel the same. Okay. Another one. This could be game of the week. We got two game of the week candidates at 4:25 or the 4 o'clock slate.
Yes,
Seattle at LA. Arguably the two best teams in the NFC. Two of the best, at least. Potentially the best in LA. But this is a battle for razor tight. I guess razor tight is not the right word. For an airtight division, who are really trying to figure their way out to take ownership of said division. And I think the Rams are going to get it figured out, keep their streak going. They're a 3.5-point favorite. They seem like they can't do anything wrong. Obviously, Seattle's doing really well, but I think the Rams take it this week.
Yeah, I will be completely honest. Flip a coin. I can't figure out. I've been looking at that game too. I'm like, I don't know who wins because every time I try to talk myself into the Rams, I'm like, I think the Rams probably have the better defense, and I'm like, I don't know. Seattle's defense is pretty damn good too. And then like, well, the Rams got Devontae and Puka, and then I'm like, well, I don't know. Seattle does have Cooper Kupp, Jigba. They just got Shaheed. Like, I mean, both of these teams are pretty solid. Both of these teams are rolling.
Yeah.
I guess I'll say Rams solely because they're at home. Literally no other reason. I'll just pick the home team. I'll give them the home field advantage. I literally think this game could go either way. And this is the one where it's like, I want to be in front of a TV watching this game. I said Buffalo and Tampa could be really good, but they're like, kind of like I said, they're both kind of like plateauing or kind of coming back down to earth, where these two teams are very much so still on the up and up. Like they're still, it seems like their potential is uncapped. So this game could be pretty damn good.
All right. So both rolling Rams on that one. KC at Denver, which 8-2 team versus a 5-4 team. You wouldn't think the 3.5 or the 5-4 team is a 3.5-point favorite, but that team is the Chiefs. Chiefs 3.5-point favorite at Denver. If that Bo Nix that plays last week comes out, they're not beating the Chiefs. That seems like that's more so going to happen. I think the Chiefs are going to pull it off.
Let's see. I'm going to go Chiefs here as well. I think the Chiefs could really use this win. I mean, it put them at 6-4, so it pulled them a little closer to the Broncos. They'd fall to 8-3. Broncos are undefeated at home, though, so let's just keep that kind of in mind here. And Chiefs have not been very good on the road this year. They're 1-3, so that maybe that plays a factor. But I just think the veteran savviness of the Chiefs is going to kind of give them the edge in this one as far as Mahomes and Kelsey and that whole dynamic. And Andy Reid obviously is an animal. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go Chiefs here as well. Just basically because Denver's the last few weeks has kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. They're winning some sloppy ones, but I don't think you can get away with sloppiness against the Chiefs personally.
Yeah, that makes two of us. All right. Two more games. Detroit at Philly Sunday night. God, what a slate this weekend. So many good games. So that's the Sunday night game at Philly. Wow, I can't talk at all. Eagles 2.5-point favorite. This is a potential NFC Championship matchup. Assuming the the two best teams are in it, whatever that may be add up as. I think Detroit is playing better football as of late. The Eagles are a one Jordan Love touchdown away from losing last week. And I think Detroit is going to catch them while they're kind of, I don't know if on the ropes is the right word because they're 7-2. But I think Detroit is going to pull the win out this week.
Yeah, I mean, they're both very talented teams, but they're on opposite ends of the spectrum, if that makes any sense. Like, you got a team, Detroit looks like they're loving football. They're having fun. They're excited to see their teammates succeed, where the Eagles doesn't really seem like the case. Seems like they're winning almost in spite of stuff. It's weird. Versus the Lions are winning because they're having fun. I don't know. It just both very good teams, but it seems like they're the opposite ends of good teams. It's weird. So I definitely think Lions in this one because of that. It just seems like they're having more fun and enjoying the game of football a lot more over there in Detroit.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling with that too. So we'll see how that ends up going. Wrapping it up on Monday night, I'm going to make this one very quick. The Cowboys at the Raiders, Monday Night Football. Dallas 3.5-point favorite. I think Dallas about to put a shellacking on the Raiders.
Yeah, I think Dallas is about to win this one. It's going to be something crazy like 42-13 or something, I think they're, slacking. I agree. I think this one at midway through the second, we're like, oh, God, this boring game on Monday night. I think it's going to be one of those for sure. I think Dallas' offense has been pretty solid this year.
So, well, that wraps it up for this episode. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Love having Graham and Trip with us, but something about this little two-man offense we run, it's pretty fun, right?
Yep.
So appreciate everybody. I'm going to go get this thing done and go watch the Lakers. You got anything to say before we leave, Logan?
Hey, appreciate you guys joining in. If you're wondering how handsome Joseph is, tune in on YouTube. He'll upload it there.
Yeah, and not very handsome. So let me just go and get that spoiler alert away.
So maybe stick to the podcast for him.
Yep, exactly. I might need to do radio. So, all right. That ain't it. We're out. Peace.
Peace.